Good day, Caroline, and welcome to your full moon mini. So, I'm going to keep this simple. We're going to do 3 decks. What did you release during the full moon in Scorpio? What new traits are you going to be developing or embodying now that you've released that energy? And then where are you headed next? Because you got to know, right? I think that's actually the main reason that I got into astrology and tarot reading and all that stuff. I had been through so much. And not only did I need a rhyme and reason for why it had happened, I needed to know what was happening next because nobody want to go through that no more. So, what did Caroline release during this full moon in Scorpio? What did she release during this full moon in Scorpio? Okay. You are the second person that had to quell the chaos within themselves, but I guess that is that Scorpio energy. But it looks like or I'll hold this up. It feels like you were always apologizing for your imperfections. In a way, it was like feeling sorry for simply existing. Something that you had carried for a really long time, but it made you feel alone, like you could never let anybody fully in because like you're gonna fuck up or they're gonna see some dark part of you or something that you don't want them to see, or those cracks that we try so hard to hide. But that's what you released. It's like everything came to a head in some way, shape, or form. There's no more wall for you to hide behind. Like the wall got blew to smithereens. So I don't know if it was a particular trigger or a conversation, but what I'm getting is it's just like I surrender. Like hands up. Like you had to give up on very possibly to be a partner. Just keeping anybody from knowing you at the deepest levels. Like there was a part of you that you were keeping for yourself that you thought you were protecting, but instead it was leaving you with a sort of loneliness all the time. Let the right one in. And I know that's a vampire movie, but it's still the premises. Let the right one in. You made space to do so. So, what new traits will Caroline be integrating now? Knight in shining armor, a destroyer, and then we got king, right? So this was a rebuilding of your masculine energy, the part of you that always had to do everything on your own. That I'll do it myself. I got this. I can't rely on anybody but me, which was all clustered into that little part of you that was always feeling alone. So now you're going to get a little bit more of your romantic energy back. I'm getting it's like overcoming this one hurdle gave you the fire to like, yeah, what's the next hurdle? Let's just break down all these issues. Because what does a king want to do technically? Conquer. A king wants to rule with a certain type of authority. And it says enlightened, benevolent leadership, benefiting those in your charge. So if you are like the head of household, even co-head of household, if you're somebody who has a strong position and making sure that stuff flows at your house, right? It's important that you feel confident in that position and that there's not a little bitty voice in the back of your head saying you're going to buck it up all the time. It's like you were just carrying this guilt existentially. Now it's like you have this fire that you want to burn anything that tells you that you can't, anything that gets in your way. So, very much more so in your masculine energy. This is more action oriented, more ready to be seen and heard, more confident in your decision making feels very important here. Like you won't second guess yourself as much. In a strange twist of fate, right? As most things are, in finally revealing or even throwing up your hands and surrender to allow that part of yourself that you've been trying to hide to be seen, to be worked on, to be open, is giving you the opportunity to allow yourself to be seen by somebody who can tell you, baby, I don't know why you thought you had to be alone or why you had to feel guilty or why you had to feel any of that, because that's not how I view As humans, we can only see so much, right? We are the sun. Even in our charts, we are the sun. The sun looks outwards. The sun can't see his shadow. That's why it's so important that we come across other people who are the moon, our family, our friends, those closest to us emotionally, so that they can reflect stuff back to us that we can't necessarily see. We all have blind spots. There are pieces that we are not allowed to access ourselves, like to know about ourselves, so that we do go out there and interact with other people and shift and shape as we need to per development requirements. It would be the best way to say that. And we are forced to deal with other humans so that we can become our best and fullest self because we lie to ourselves in our head based upon the things we got told early on. You allowing somebody to see your vulnerability actually made you stronger. So, where is Caroline headed next? Where's Caroline headed next? Allow me to reintroduce myself. That's the energy I got here. So this is ascendant. This is your rising. This is like the face, right? But in your case, it's like a reintroduction to yourself. Reintroduction. Reintroduction to yourself, right? This is your unique shine. This is once again that king energy, that power. You stepping into ooh, it's feeling like going from Mr. Burns, like posture wise, to you like sort of like that. But stepping out, and is this your career? This is like your friend groups, the community you belong in, the activism stuff you want to do, the humanitarian things. You stepping into a new layer of self where you are not afraid to stand up for yourself, to be loud, to be proud, to be bold, to be different. There were things holding you back that no longer apply. The best way I can explain that to you that I'm seeing right now is, you know how when you're a toddler and you're just learning how to walk, your parents put up gates to protect you from yourself, to make sure you don't get nowhere you ain't supposed to go. It's like you're 16, still behind the toddler gate to protect yourself. That was what was going on energetically. But how much or how wide is the difference between what a 2-year-old can do walking and a 16-year-old? That is the gap that you are going to be filling in your growth as you step out into this new energy, this empowered masculine, because it seemed like maybe there were people in your life who benefited from handicapping you or telling you, don't do this, don't do that, or doing everything for you, or even making you feel like you had to keep all your parts of yourself to yourself. Like you didn't want anybody to know that you had anything special about you because they would pick at it. It's just like the culmination of what happened in your childhood made you just say, man, these people aren't even like, I can't even let them know who I am fully. But it stifled you from fully knowing who you are. And you will find and discover that through the reflections of the other people who are coming, who are a part of your soul tribe. So it started at home, opening up intimately, even realizing, hey, I still got a wall up here. And now the door is open. So have fun with this. And thank you. I hit stop.